You give some examples in the piece of like culturally that sense. I mean, what do you think? I mean, give us the order of these things, because we have this crash in 2008. The economy is really devastated, and we have our unemployment rate doubles in the matter of like 12 months. It seemed like, and so it influenced everything. But there was this sort of, I guess, this morality of austerity that comes down the pike.
Right. So, yeah, and I think there's a couple of things that happen. And so in a timeline, you want to think of the financial crisis, which in some ways is kind of the least interesting part. I mean, it's unfortunate that we didn't cut bankers' pay or anything like that, or no one went to jail. But when we think about what really happened that was alongside that was the foreclosure crisis, which I really think really did remake the landscape for a lot of places. States that were the hardest hits obviously had huge foreclosure waves, but even places like the upper Midwest, where you can see polling and some preliminary studies that say places that are still underwater, places where people owe more on their mortgages than the property is worth, which is a direct consequence of the recession and the financial crisis. They were more likely to vote for Trump. And so you see a couple of things, right? So you see the foreclosure wave, which really does remake the landscape, so that a lot of places where there's at least some density and some life, even if factories have closed, just hollow out. People aren't building places. People aren't upkeeping places. You have a lot of property, a shadow inventory of homes where just no one's living in them. They're falling apart into disarray. And I think that characterizes a lot of it. And then the second half of that is the geographic inequality, that you have really booming cities that are just out of control expensive. And so you have young people not forming families, not buying places,